Welcome. It's Monday. What's that? It's not just Monday. It's a victory Monday. The New York Jets defeat the Eagles, a team we were told we cannot beat, a team we were told we couldn't win without all the players that were missing. Nonsense. Nonsense, I tell you. We'll be back. Get the show going right after this.
This is producer JR, and you are watching the proud New York Jets fan show. Now give it up for my boy Nick.
Rodgers is a fucking Jet. Let's go!
This for my special delivery. Spit like this, get my wrist all glittery.
Can't wait.
Get cake, snakes get slithery. Lean in, show y'all the mean in the chivalry.
Let's make sure we
Rap
play like the
Buddha.
New York Jets.
Right jab like Zab Judah. Every member on my team is a shooter. Tight like a womb, no room for intruders. Spark, twist to the Philly.
Give it up.
Good humor. Don't be silly. It's gravy, baby. I got it all smothered.
Let's go
Like
eat a
makeup.
damn snack.
Doing the Quinnen dance. Victory Monday. We're doing the Quinnen dance. Let's say what's up to some people that are here, and then we'll bring in the main attraction. Rusty Spooner here early. We beat the refs and the birds. Hey, man, I think even the referees in the league are realizing you can't keep this team down. They don't quit. They don't quit. My boy Tony's here. He's going to be joining us at 12:30. A new guest to the show. He's not a Jet fan, but he's a good man. Good afternoon, Chris. Thank you for joining. Twisted here. Nothing like absorbing a win like that on a Monday. Oh, it's not just a Victory Monday. It's Victory Mondays. You're right, Twisted. It's a bye week Victory Monday, which is good. It lasts for 2 weeks. Eric, what's up, my man? Feels good, brother. It feels good. You are the main attraction. That's what I was waiting for. There's no one else that I'd rather hang out with than you. Your outfits are on point. You can cook some good food. And you're definitely going to bring the females. So, I until you are hooked up with your studio and your podcast ability, I guess some of us have to lower our standards and bring in a guest that you don't want to see, you don't want to hear from. He's not worth mentioning. I shouldn't even give him this long of an introduction. He's flashing me body parts in the background before the show. That's about as excited as I get to talk to this guy. I guess we'll bring in the best co-host in the world. What's up, Jeremy? Mr. Jets Chaos. How are you?
What's up? The Jets win. You have a guest that likes to call out people who are wrong and say our linebackers stink, but Gitmo Bob, you're old and decrepit. And you're most importantly wrong. And I am right, because our linebackers were amazing yesterday. And somehow, without cornerbacks, we beat the defending NFC champions. How about them apples?
Oh, look at you. A little October apple picking season, tying it all together in a pretty bow. I like that. Ooh.
I got your number.
Dude. All right, let's get into it, man. No sauce. Everybody went DEFCON 1. Everybody went DEFCON 1 on Friday.
Yeah.
Awesome.
My pasta's going to be dry. There's no way to eat this. We're dead. We don't have any sauce.
The noodles are going to crust. There's no sauce. What are we going to do? Did you get McDonald's for breakfast and a sweet tea?
I had to wake up to put the garbage out because it's garbage day and alternate side parking. So I woke up at 7 o'clock because I had to she gave me a list of shit I had to do, right, to get everything ready. So I'm throwing out the garbage. I'm doing this. I'm bringing out the cans. I had to move my car. I'm in the car. I'm thinking, you know what? It's 6:55 a.m. I'm 5 minutes from McDonald's, and she's fast asleep. I can zip over there, go through the drive-thru, grab myself 2 sausage egg McMuffins and a Coke, get home, sneak the food upstairs to my studio, and she'll never know anything about it.
And then you are holding the cup, you dumbass.
She's not watching. She's asleep right now.
Oh, nice. Nice. I actually ordered DoorDash for me and Nikki yesterday morning, and I had a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddle for the first time in like 2 years.
Uh-huh.
And I only ordered one, and only got one hash brown, and I got a coffee. And I got to tell you, McDonald's coffee is top notch.
Yeah. Oh, a few
And
years ago, they made the change, and that's awesome stuff.
Ooh, man. And I had no cream in it because I have my my coffee mate, my Italian sweet creamer, and I put that in there with it. McDonald's coffee. Wow. 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 Phenomenal. Audience enjoy the show. All right, Tony, no worries, man. We'll link another time, bro. Either on here or in the IOW show. But thank you again for having me on. Another Jeremy Slight. Twisted, that's the nicest thing I can say about the guy. I try. Listen, he likes me. So when he introduces me, he can actually get into it with enthusiasm. I don't want to lie to you people. I don't want to. I hate doing TV. All those hidden cameras you have in your bedroom. You know you love being on TV, Knobcraft. Who are you even teasing? Mojo Jets, what's up? Thank you. Yes, hit the like button. If you are not already, please subscribe. But thank you for joining. 8 out of 10. All right, thank you. Matt Numa's here. Jalen Hurts. It hurts a little, don't it? It hurts. Not cleaned up. Oh, yeah, you did. Victory Monday.
I like that Twisted notices everything.
He
You
does.
go,
He does.
well, it was getting itchy, and I'm heading to New York tonight on the red eye, so I didn't want to get stuck.
Hey, Adam.
Going another 9 days without shaving, and I am going to a wedding, so
Nice.
yeah.
Italian sweet. Yeah, Eric, that Italian sweet cream can make anything delicious. I feel like it's not the same as it used to be, though. So, all right. Let's get into it.
All right.
The New York Jets did what many people thought they couldn't do.
Many people thought it could not be done.
Raise your hand if you thought they could do it.
Put your hand in the air if you thought they could do it.
Listen, this is why we do the shows, people.
This is why we get in front of a camera and talk to you.
This is why we put our opinions out there for you, distinguished Jets fans and gentlemen.
This is why we share our feelings and thoughts and attitudes towards things.
This is why we make the big bucks.
It's hard to paraphrase that.
Yeah.
This is why we get all the glory and love from people like Knobcraft.
Yes. This is why you fine gentlemen take time out of your days to join us, which we are so appreciative of you doing. So I actually have to admit when I'm wrong. I gave the Philadelphia Eagles too much credit. I had the Jets winning 26-23. I thought they'd score a couple touchdowns. I was wrong. I thought they'd score 2 touchdowns and kick 3 field goals and get 23 points. I was wrong. I gave a Super Bowl team from last year too much credit against a team missing Sauce Gardner, arguably the best cornerback in football. DJ Reed, top 12 cornerback in football, number 1 tandem. Eccles, our 4th cornerback, out. Huff, you haven't played in 2 years. Hall, you haven't played in 2 years. We need you to start. No problem. Start 2 weeks in a row. I scored a touchdown on defense last week to seal the game against Denver. Oh, you need me to intercept Jalen Hurts this week? I got you. I've been doing nothing for the last couple years. I can spot start and win some games for us. Done. James, breaking up a touchdown pass in the end zone. Phenomenal. I am impressed. And this is going to bother some people. This is going to irk some people. I don't know if they're here in the chat now, but I'm going to say it. There are Jets fans who have been shitting on our coaching staff, asking for them to be fired already. How on earth can you bring yourself to say or type those words after this list I'm about to reel off. We're 3-3 at the bye. The first NFL team to ever play 4 teams with 12 wins or more in their first 6 games from the previous season. And we're 3-3 without Aaron Rodgers. We lost Vera Tucker. We lost Dwayne Brown. It's a blessing that we lost Dwayne Brown, but he was a starter from the beginning. Tippmann goes down mid-game. Schweitzer comes in. You had Mitchell and Schweitzer on the right side of the line, and Zach had a lot of clean pockets against what people call one of the best defensive lines in football. The only time I heard Fletcher Cox's name all game is when Schweitzer pulled him down. We neutralized them time and time again. Zach was getting the ball out on time. Now you take the secondary out of the game. What NFL team goes and wins a game, not just a game against the last undefeated team in the NFL, missing 3 out of their last 4 corners? People didn't want Quincy Williams brought back. He's playing like the best linebacker in football. The kid is phenomenal. Looks
Linebacker
like
room.
a steal.
Linebacker room is better than a B.
Yeah. They've limited Lawson snaps, which is good. We know Lawson isn't what we expected. They've elevated Huff from being a pass rush specialist the last 2 years to now being a queen on a chessboard and being a guy you don't want to see come off. I am finding myself, I always look at the D-line, and I find myself looking for Quinnen Williams, JJ, and Huff to make sure they're in or to see if they're out of the game.
JJ.
That's how phenomenal these guys are up front.
JJ.
We weren't supposed to have Zach Wilson, and we're 3-3, guys. 3-3, and you can nominate Saleh for Coach of the Year right now, in my opinion. Holding this team together after the catastrophe that happened in the first 4 snaps of our season, and we should have beat the Chiefs. We should have beat the Patriots. We should be sitting at 5-1 with Zach effing Wilson. And there are people screaming that they wanted this coach's gone. Ulbrich? Let's discuss Ulbrich for a minute, Jer. Kansas City up 17-0. First quarter. Gives up 6 points the rest of the game, 3 quarters. Against what people call one of the best quarterbacks they've ever seen. People already have Mahomes as a top 5 quarterback of all time. 6 points over 3 quarters. Jalen Hurts. MVP candidate, right, Jer? That's what I'm hearing.
That's what they
MVP candidate, right?
Makes a lot of money.
Makes a lot of money. Deservedly so. I guess he's not good if guys aren't pushing on his butt the whole game, because we didn't have to see that stupid play one time. I guess that's the key to their success. Kudos to the defense for not getting in the 3rd or 4th and short the entire game. Great job all around. You want to talk about the secondary coach, Tony Oden? Guy should be the head of lists for defensive coordinators next year. Ulbrich might have head coaching jobs coming for him. Oden might be our defensive coordinator next year.
Could happen.
You want to talk about Hackett? All right, let's talk about Hackett.
He can hack
Came
it.
into a season with a playbook and an offense and a scheme completely predicated off of one guy running it, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
That got taken away in 4 snaps. What do we do now, Jer? Oh, you ask? I'll tell you. We go 3-3, beating Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, and Jalen Hurts. Who do we have coming out after the bye, you ask? The New York Giants.
We played very well yesterday.
Played very well.
Defensively.
We have the Chargers at home. Cross-country fight for them is never
We're
easy,
going to kick their butt, though. We're going to kick their butt.
which you and I will be together for.
Yes.
And then we go out to Vegas for Sunday night with the Raiders. 2 of our next 3 games are national television.
We're going to crush them.
This is the bye week where you make changes, you make adjustments.
We need to win all
Now
three.
is where you evolve the playbook for Zach. If I'm Zach, if I'm Hackett, if I'm Saleh, if I'm Calabrese, I'm not taking any goddamn days off.
We need to win.
I am in there every day, and I am evolving and tweaking this system and this scheme to fit Zach Wilson and the cast of characters that we have right now.
We need to win all 3 games. The next 3.
We have to. You get to
No
6-3
excuses.
going into Buffalo at 6-3, Jer.
Be beautiful.
They'll flex that game to primetime. They'll want that game in primetime.
Be beautiful.
They
And
don't
you
want
know
that
what?
game at 1 o'clock.
With Milano out now, and the way they played yesterday, let's do it. Let's do it. We seem to play well against Buffalo, and you know what? If we go in there 6-3 and win that game, oh my God, the shit's. Oh my God, can you imagine? Wow.
I'm excited. When I get excited, I sometimes get a little bit too far ahead of myself. I got to take a deep breath. I don't fish, but I know I got to reel myself in.
You just can't hide.
Let's
it.
focus on this week.
It's
Garrett
about-
Wilson looked a little dinged up. 2 weeks off could do him some good. He came
Yeah.
out and blasted the turf. Says the turf is shit.
It is.
Garbage. It's brand new, and they hate it already.
We got a billionaire freaking owner. Put in the grass.
Yeah. So I threw a lot out. I had a lot I wanted to discuss. Give me your thoughts going into the bye, what this team is, what you thought they were going to be. Give me the state of chaos.
Well, here's the thing.
Catch up in the chat while you're.
Here's the thing. Before the season started, when we had Aaron Rodgers and thought he was going to be our quarterback all year, we looked at our schedule and said, you know what? It's going to take a time to gel. We might not be like fully there. It's a tough schedule. If we can go 3-3, some people said 2-4, and we still see we'll be okay. Don't panic. But if we can go 3-3, oh, what a year it's going to be. When you look at what happens right after that in the schedule and the rest of the schedule, and Aaron Rodgers gets hurt in the first game, and even though we win, the feeling is gloom. People are down, and it's looking very much like a lot of people were just saying, oh, if we could just be 2-4, maybe we have a chance to be respectable, and the season won't get away from us. Here we are at 3-3 without Aaron Rodgers, losing AVT, like you said. Now losing Tippmann. Like, the injuries are still piling in. And here we are at 3-3 and only going to get now, hopefully, healthier. Hopefully now we'll start the road of recovery. We'll get our cornerbacks back. Some better things will happen. But the state of the Jets to me is because we lost Rodgers, in my opinion, and I'm sorry if this offends anybody, because we don't have Rodgers, I'm not thinking we're a Super Bowl contender. Now, anything in the world can happen if you get in the playoffs. Crazy things have happened. But realistically, I don't dispute the Main Street media that we're not Super Bowl contenders. I don't expect them to list us as Super Bowl contenders because there's no Rodgers. But, and this is a but, I do think,
And Philly loves butts.
I do think that we could very easily be a playoff team. And I think by making the playoffs, it's so important for this team to make the playoffs, because if we make the playoffs, we are no longer this, what is one person, Aaron Rodgers, going to do to this team that's not even a playoff team? He's one player. I don't care what position. Now it'll be a Hall of Fame quarterback coming back to play on a team that made the playoffs without him, with what, the 25th ranked quarterback or whatever Zach's going to end up being.
I'll drink coffee to that.
Now all of a sudden it's pretty legit, right? I would say. The state of the Jets, we're an elite defense and we have depth, and we can play with guys missing. That means we're well coached defensively. We are the best second half defense in the NFL
By far.
By far.
By far.
Not- by far. Comparable to the 85 Bears. I said it. We have a very special running back in Breece Hall. If we could just get healthy on the offensive line or healthier, and just if they can just gel together and hold it together, there's no one we can't step on the field with, because we have that elite defense and we can have that running game, and we have Zach playing a little bit more competently. We do. Last year he finished the season and he was incompetent. Now there's some competency there.
There's growth.
There's growth. He
There's
can
growth.
throw down the field and make plays. We see it. We saw a big play yesterday out of our own end zone, right out of our own inside the 10-yard line. We saw him step up and make a big play.
Yeah.
He makes plays now.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And he's not making crazy
He's not
mistakes.
holding the team down.
Right. He's not
That's
making
growth.
it impossible for us to win.
That's growth, right? He's not inhibiting us. The days of last year and even this year against New England, where they were saying, don't lose the game for us, throw the ball out of bounds. You're not seeing 6 throwaways anymore on 3rd down. You're seeing the kid step back, release. He is becoming a very good quarterback when he gets the ball out in under 2.5 seconds. You saw the stats yesterday. I think he was 8 for 8 at one point, getting it out in under 2.5. Now the job in the bye week is to design the offense and design things that he does well so that he's consistently getting the ball out quickly. Move the pocket, do whatever you got to do. Find it. Look at the film of the plays Zach does well. Look at the film, whether it's changing a protection to give him more time and more confidence, but we're seeing a quarterback who now stands in the pocket and makes good throws. We didn't see that the first 2 years. No. Let's not forget, he wasn't supposed to play. He was supposed to take a knee or hand the ball off in the 4th quarter to Michael Carter when we were up by 17 or 20 points. I like this comment because this is something that a lot of fans complained about. People give Salah shit about slow adjustments on the D. The fact that he does little to adjust. Come the second half, the D is still fresh while the O-line is sucking wind. The plan works. This is why the plan is in place. Do we have a Nick Bosa on our team? No. No. JJ is very good. His motor doesn't stop. He's not a Nick Bosa. We don't have that elite pass rusher. We have an elite group. And the group being fresh later in the game, wearing down the opposition,
Paying dividends.
is starting to show everybody, hey,
Dividends.
we know what we're doing. 65% of the snaps for our guys makes them 300% better come the 4th quarter against this offensive line
They
that
couldn't
are
stop
worn
us.
down.
Couldn't stop us.
When you see fresh body after fresh body coming at you, no, you're not a night worker in Atlantic City. You are an offensive lineman against the New York Jets. I tried to clean that up to be as clean as I could with that comment. I thought I did pretty good.
Huh.
When you got fresh body after fresh body lining up to come at you, are you a night worker or are you an offensive lineman against the Jets? Yeah. Hey, listen, injuries are a part of football. We lost Tippmann, who's been our highest rated lineman. They lost Lane Johnson. It happens. We lost Aaron Rodgers. You think they would compete without Jalen Hurts? You think that if you take Patrick Mahomes off Kansas City, they're 3-3? You think you take Josh Allen off of the Bills, they're 4-2? You think you take I don't know who else is good right now. Goff? You take Goff off the Lions if they're where they're at? No.
Take Trevor Lawrence off of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Where would they be without Trevor Lawrence?
This team, and this is why it took them long to get good, is because we had to keep the general manager in place, we had to keep the coach in place, and we had to build the depth to run this scheme. The challenge now for Joe Douglas is what, Jer? Do I make a move, get another receiver? I hate that Oakland or Vegas is 3-3. I would have loved Vegas being 1-5, Jared. I told you for months.
I told you we were jumping the gun that they were going to be 1-5, though.
I know you did. You did. I didn't expect the Patriots to be that bad. I thought the Patriots could have beat them, but I mean, losing Judon and losing Gonzalez, they have those two guys, they probably win that game.
Yeah, I got to tell you, with New England, part of me always thought or believed that with Belichick, he's going to find a way, and they're going to be 8-9 wins or like be competitive. It's shocking to see this, but the fact that we lost to them, it still hurts.
I'm going to do a little flashback here. I know we got some comments in the chat, but Salah's on the mic right now. And some of the tweets coming in are from Zach Rosenblatt. Salah said the Jets wanted to score a TD at the end. When the Eagles let Breece Hall score so they could get the ball back because they believed in their defense's ability to stop the Eagles from going the distance.
Mm-hmm.
If you're taking a knee at the 2-yard line and trying to milk the clock, you're saying I don't have confidence in my defense.
Right.
There is not a better unit in football right now than the New York Jets defense in the second half. Dig up the stats. Argue if you want. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady offenses in the 2-minute drill. Eli Manning even was very good in the 2-minute drill. Those were elite units. You knew what they were going to do, and they did it anyway. The second half, Jeremy, our defense is one of those elite units that transcend the year. And you're seeing we can stop you at will. It wasn't a bunch of plays. It wasn't the other team making mistakes. It was the New York Jets defense making plays time and time again. We do it. We bring it up every Wednesday on your channel on Jets Chaos, Pride and Chaos, Wednesday nights at 9 on Jets Chaos. We bring up who's going to be an unsung hero this week. None of us had the secondary guys, right?
No, I mean, that guy Craig, he's like.
Yes, I forgot his name.
He was spectacular. He was one of the highest rated players, in his performance yesterday. As number one was CJ Mosley. He was the highest rated player on PFF yesterday for the Jets. Our PFF scores I've never seen anything like it for the Jets. They were higher than I've ever seen them. But
I haven't seen them yet.
Both our linebackers were extremely high up there. But this guy Craig was way up there. He was, he did a spectacular job, a really spectacular job. And it makes you think, wow, look at the depth of our team in the cornerback position, that we could have these guys step in and play at the level they played. I mean, they weren't going against nobodies. They were going against Devontae, Smith and Brown. I mean, that was no easy task. That was no easy task.
I want to add this from Samini right now. No injury updates from Salah. With a bye week, they don't have to issue an injury report for 9 days. They'll play it close to the vest, especially since they might have to make a move on the O-line, assuming the Tippmann injury is serious. Something else Zach Rosenblatt said. Robert Saleh said that Jeff Ulbrich checks every single box that you could want in a head coach, as in he deserves his opportunity to be a head coach. I agree. Seeing what we saw on Hard Knocks and 1JD, Ulbrich is definitely a guy who should have his name up there, and I believe he's a great leader. I love the way he talks about his team, his players, how he treats them. I'd hate to lose him, but that's part of becoming a good team. You get your coaches picked and not just fired. We're used to firing coaches who perform poorly. We're not used to having our coaches picked from us. I will say this, tongue in cheek, of course. I hope Ulbrich is in his bloodline has some minority blood. That way we get a compensation pick for him being hired. If, the new compensation rules, if you have a minority coach who gets a head coaching job from you, you get a 3rd-round compensation pick.
That'd be nice.
It's tongue in cheek, but it's. So those are the tweets coming out now. Nothing big coming out. Nothing. Put it this way, I think no news today is good news. If it was Titman has a broken bone in his leg, they would announce it. If it's Wilson has an Achilles, they announce it. So I think it's good that there's no news coming out today in terms of any of the injuries. Let's talk the positives here. 13 days from now, we play the New York Giants, and for the most part, we will be healthy. Sauce, Reed return.
They better. Otherwise, we got a real problem.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I want to pause real quick before we look ahead. I and you were very vocal about this player. We're not saying his name anymore in frustration. He's not elite, but I think Tomlinson has been much improved from last season. Last season was putrid.
The
Being
last couple,
average, middle of the pack has been sufficient enough.
he's been much more solid the last couple of games. He's even made some really nice run block plays. There's some plays
Yes.
where he's looking. There was, there's some plays where he looks great on the film. Like he's done some good things.
Yeah.
Yesterday he
Becton
came
had
across
some moments,
yeah.
right? Well,
Becton, like a lot of people you see, this is the problem. We have very selective memory, Jets fans. So like yesterday, for example, there was a play where Becton got beat. I mean, we're going against the NFC defending champs. They have a great defensive line. They have a great defense. Becton got beat yesterday on one of the plays, and it was very obvious. You saw him cut. And everybody's forgetting that there's many, many reps, and you're not going to win every rep. But he's playing left tackle, and he's playing it fine. Like he's solid.
go look at Brian Baldinger, either on Instagram, Twitter. Brian Baldy's breakdowns. He broke down Mekhi Becton. I saw 2 plays yesterday that Becton got beat. And when Becton got beat, it's when he lunges, extends his arms, and misses.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want him playing like a T-Rex because he's got a lot of power. But be more selective with when you line the guy up and you go for the kill shot. Because Becton gets a lot of kill shots. He hits guys and he pancakes them. You'll see it if you watch Baldy's breakdown. I can pull it up. Go ahead. I'm old. I can't talk and pull up stuff at the same time. So I'll admit it. I know my weaknesses. I don't try to pretend. I don't try to be something I'm not.
No, I feel like
ahead.
Becton has one. There's something that Becton can improve that I see all the time. There are times where the guy comes around very wide. So what Becton does is he uses the momentum in a good way and pushes the guy all the way, like brings him back and pushes him around to the back of the pocket, right? What he fails to do sometimes is keep moving because that guy eventually recovers and and comes after Zach from behind. So when you throw him out there, you're giving Zach a full 3 seconds before that guy's a problem. You are. Because he's taking the guy who's going around wide and he's pushing him so far back and out. It takes the guy time to get back towards Zach, but he's still there. So what he needs to do, what I'd love to see him do, is when he pushes that guy, keep going, take the angle to protect Zach. Because if it's, so that guy, whoever he's pushing out there can't come back and get Zach from behind. I've noticed that little thing on tape. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's not what he's supposed to do because maybe he already got Zach the time he was supposed to get him. I don't know. But to me, that's when I've seen the guy he pushes like that. I've seen him push people like that, but they come back into the play. And it scares me because they're coming from an angle now that's behind Zach Wilson. But his run blocking has been great, like always. And he hasn't been bad in pass protection. He hasn't been dominant yet. And we have to remember he hasn't played in 2 years, and this is 6 games in. So pretty damn good, solid left tackle play from Becton, from a guy a lot of Jet fans never believed would contribute to this team again.
All right.
Right? A lot of people were calling him a bust and saying, get rid of him, trade him. And now Becton is playing an incredibly important role for us, man. He's like he's a solid left tackle. Can you imagine if we didn't have him right now? Where would we be? So, nothing but praise, nothing but appreciation for Becton right now. He came back just in time when this team needed him.
How do I do this here?
And with Lakin doing better, the left side of the line is actually strong right now and solid. The problem is the beat up side of the right side of the offensive line. But I gotta say, Max Mitchell played very well yesterday overall. Had a bad rep or two, so everybody wants to single that out. But overall, Max Mitchell played well, very well. I think that you're going to see, I'm predicting, because I haven't spoken to Dom C, but I have a prediction that Dom C is going to actually end up sharing news, or, he shares his findings when he looks at the tape. I have a feeling that we're going to hear good news from Dom C regarding Max Mitchell. And that he's going to come out and say positive things about the way he played yesterday. And I'm sure Tigo is going to be very, very happy about it too. And maybe Max Mitchell needed that extra 6 weeks of recovery and getting back in shape, because remember, he had a weird offseason of trying to get healthy, from blood clots, not staying in NFL football shape. And his bad training camp could have been related to that. And now he's in football shape. And we might have a very solid, just an average middle of the line, solid right tackle in Max Mitchell. And for a 4th round draft pick, man, sweet.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this. All right, I'm going to have it without audio, I think.
Okay.
Because I have to share it in another browser. All right. Thank you while you were doing that. All right, let's get this
I
going.
see
Present.
Matthias, a veteran Facebook personality. Matthias, all the way back to the AOL forum days. Matthias.
Can you see this?
Yes.
Do you see this?
I see it.
All right. Do you hear it?
No, because you don't know how to check the little box that says share audio.
I did.
Oh. Maybe it's good that we don't hear it. We won't get shut down.
All right. So
what are we seeing?
Yeah,
Nick?
it might get called. Here's a good one. Look at this. 94 is Hargrave. Here's Becton again. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love that. This is
In the NFL.
This is the NFL championship, NFC champion.
Best defensive lines in football. It was fun to watch.
Go back to
Baldy just said he started to look like his old self. That's the 2-point conversion, right? He's able to slide that way because he trusts Becton.
And on that play, he did stay with the guy on the outside, which is exactly what I want to see every time. He stayed on him. He kept shuffling his feet. Didn't let the guy get back into the play.
Here's another one. This is Zach. This was Zach's best play of the day, getting the ball off quick.
Well, he handed it off.
This is a sign of evolving.
Oh, offsides.
He gets the free play, keeps it alive.
Beautiful pass.
And this, I mean,
unbelievable. Penalty for playing football, folks. Penalty for playing good football. Good, clean
we'll
football.
Discuss that in a second.
Good, clean football. Just a beautiful block, and he gets penalized for it because the guy wasn't looking at him.
That play right there. That play right there.
Matthew Smith made a living in high school making plays like and blocks like that. Matthew Smith.
That play to Wilson. That throw to Wilson. 9 yards off. Just get him the ball, let him beat the first guy. Reminded me of Aaron Rodgers to Devontae Adams. If you're going to go back, we're just going to get you the ball. I don't care what the play call is. I'm throwing it to you. Go create something.
Yeah.
Let's discuss the Allen Lazard play. Obviously, I'm against it. I'm against the call. I'm against the pussification of football. But you know what the rule is. You cannot come back and hit somebody like that. just put your hands up, get in their way. All you have to do is deter them.
All you had to
And
do is
then
get those guys.
after that, we get the 15-yard penalty. It's 2nd and 23. And then he drops one on top of it. Like he was a suicide bomber killing this drive for us. Zach fires one to him. It's low where only he can get to it, and he drops it off his chest.
Later on in the game, he made a really good catch that made us feel a little bit better about him. But yeah, there's an issue there. It was there last year when he was with Green Bay. He has a little bit of the dropsies. No, I'm not going to complain about his blocking. I know that he shouldn't have done that, and that'll be a learning experience for him. But for the 99% of the time, he's an amazing blocking wide receiver.
Yes.
And he was just trying to do what he does, and he just poor judgment in that split second. But drop passes are something we're going to have to live with him. He's going to make some great contested catches, and he's going to drop some easy ones. And that's Alan Lazard, you know?
Yeah. It's we are not a well-oiled machine on offense being run by Aaron Rodgers where we can overcome stupid penalties.
Got to help our quarterback.
It's just the truth of it. With where we're at and with Tittman and AVT being down, we can't get 2nd and 23s. It's not who we are. It'll be rare.
Yeah, you were raised.
You got to play smarter. Tittman has a thigh. They believe it's a quad, but nothing official had come out yet. But I'm sorry, Matt. I missed your questions when I was sharing the other screen.
Tittman. What happened to Tittman?
Twisted. If when the Jets fix this red zone issue, there'll be no discussion about Avery. Yeah. How could be for us play the game all season? If not, then he returns. I disagree. If Aaron Rodgers is cleared to play, Aaron Rodgers is playing. It's not like it's Joe Montana and Steve Young. If Aaron Rodgers is cleared to play, he's cleared to play. It's his team. I know some people have said that. I strongly disagree. When Aaron Rodgers gets cleared, he will be your quarterback. They extend something that they're willing to hang around. Why wouldn't they? They're building something great here, man. They're building something great, Walt. Thank you for watching too, by the way. Yeah, they already sent out the GoFundMe. It's pay for your tickets by November for next year.
Yeah.
Johnny, what's up, pal? Welcome. Yeah.
Johnny Jimenez.
Yeah, our special teams are doing very well.
You like that? How I know how to pronounce? I know how to say Johnny Jimenez. Jimenez. It's like a huh, the J. Huh.
Indy Colt, welcome.
Huh.
Worst crime NFLs who don't make officials full time.
Huh.
I agree.
The LLO, by the way, like it's not polo, it's pollo. The two L's is like a Y, so it's pollo. Chico.
Thank you.
The pollo.
Dr. Evil here, international man of mystery and culture. Hey, Matthias.
That's why it's Pico de Gallo.
Matthias, I've been saying this since last night.
Pico de Gallo.
We got to be 6-3 going into Buffalo and Miami. If
Pico
we
de
play
Gallo.
Buffalo and Miami and we take one of those and we're at 7-4,
See, Jimenez.
I think we can get to 11-6. I really do.
Jimenez.
I think we can get to 11-6.
Jimenez.
Yeah, but Matthias, we won the game still. It's not killing us because it's killing us if we're losing games. But the last two games, we're still winning. And if we're winning while we're learning how to win, that's a huge, huge bonus for us. A lot of teams lose while they're learning to win. Yeah. Listen, that's a tribute to Hackett. That's a tribute to Zach. We didn't have much of a run game yesterday.
People complaining about the O-line suck. Missing blocks so on as part of Zach not reading the D, making adjustments.
Hey, Tigo. I think it's an evolution. I think it's a combination of everything. Twisted. I believe the offensive line is going through more changes. You know, Mitchell coming in, Tittman coming. I said last week going into the Denver game was the first time And I couldn't remember how long that we had the same exact offensive line 3 straight games, and that got taken away with Vera Tucker, and then Tippmann goes down in this game.
Can we remember that we sacked Hurts a lot, right? And if you look around the league at some of the performances of the quarterbacks this week, there are lots of good defenses making quarterbacks look really bad. It's like we were playing the defending NFC champions. They have a very good defense. So we have to understand they're gonna make plays. I mean, it's part of football. They're gonna make good plays too. So we have to be understanding of that. We have to look at the big picture. You can't look at play by play. You have to look at the big picture. And the big picture is our offensive line held their own. Zach Wilson kept us in the game by not making horrible mistakes. And he made some good plays when he had to. I mean, if it was every week and this is the best he's got, I understand we're disappointed, right? And it's like frustrating. But let's be honest and let's remember something. Look at the other quarterback performances against some of the defenses we've been playing. It's not like other quarterbacks are lighting these teams up and he's not. Like it's not like, I mean, it's like we're playing very good teams. And let's see what we do on this next run with the Giants and with the Chargers and the Raiders. Let's see what we do. And if it's the same thing and we're barely scoring touchdowns and he's putting up 150 yards passing each game, then you're right. It's time to like at some point it's enough. But you gotta check the box scores and the stats of other quarterbacks in this league and really see that it's not only us. It's not only Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Matthew says, thanks for watching, Spinny. Lazard came in with drop issues, and we knew that. I'm not complaining about him with the drop. I'm complaining about domino effect of negativity. The bad block, then the drop. You make a bad play, go make a positive play. The 2 bad plays in a row, the combination of both is what bothered me. I'm not surprised he drops the ball, but don't drop it after you just cost us being at the 8-yard line. That could have put the game away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Matthias. Kuka, well said.
Yeah.
Still hard.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's always hard. That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. There's no problem with that. Down to our offense. Los Podios Hermanos. Johnny, what do you got to say? Have to give a special out. Yes, Ashton Davis, another unsung hero. Yep, and Tomlinson. I love our coaches and GM. How cool is that watching Robert Saleh jump into Joe Douglas's arms coming off the field yesterday? This is what we're building. This is what we're becoming. How great did that feel for Joe Douglas, who we took from Philly? And he beat them for the first time ever. He constructed a team that the New York Jets were able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles for the first time ever.
How good is Irv Charles?
I never thought I would. Oh my God, we'll get special teams.
Irv Charles is like, why do we have to pay Justin Hardy? We got Irv Charles for free. It's crazy. Yeah. He's so good.
Where's this? Dom C just texted his first mock draft, first full round 1 mock. Yeah, didn't even miss Hardy yesterday. Charles with his length on special teams and be able to dive and trip guys up immediately. Like, I'm getting excited that when we punt the ball, that we're going to make a play and get the ball back.
The defense is definitely the strength of this team.
It's amazing.
There's no question about that.
It's amazing.
Kuka.
It is absolutely amazing.
The half-sack dance.
Nice.
Kuka.
What is the weakest part of this team? Not the defense, not the special teams. That leaves the offense. Fix the red zone trouble. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, we're winning games in spite of the issue. So you're right. If we could become a well-oiled machine on offense and finish drives off, you're looking at, I don't think it's crazy to say at 3-3, the New York Jets are an elite team.
Right now, it's the final piece of the puzzle. If we could just get the ball in the end zone when we get into the red zone, some percentage of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, if we could just be average in the NFL at getting into the freaking end zone, that's the final ingredient. Then we're a championship level team, right? I think.
Yeah. And I've been saying it for weeks. If we can win games while we're learning to win, Hall is young, Wilson's young, AVT was young, Tittman was young, Becton is still young in terms of experience. Zach, Gibson, Ruckert, a lot of guys who are going to start to be the main part of this offense going forward are still young and learning how to win. Tomlinson and Lazard are the only two guys that have come from places that have had deep playoff success. You know, Cobb too, but Cobb's not a player in my mind. Brooklyn.
No, sorry. I'm trying to.
Am I allowed to show the video of you crying while getting the tattoo that you sent me or no?
No, we're going to hide that from the world.
All right. You showed my toe one day, so I figured I had to ask.
Showed your toe. I showed you a picture of the toe you sent me.
That was in private. Yeah, Daniel, you're 100% right, Daniel. 100% right.
Says the guy.
Let's enjoy this. There's no better win of the season. If you're not winning the Super Bowl, the only other good win can be winning in the bye week. Right? It's the only other win you can enjoy for multiple weeks.
Only way.
I will say this. Beating the Patriots, I will enjoy. The Chiefs just beat the Broncos to make it 16 straight, which is an NFL record. I do not want to join that.
We don't know what the meaning of the last game of the season is going to be for us. Hopefully, if it has no meaning, it's because we're already in and it doesn't change anything.
I mean, we're going to be 13-3, probably with home field locked up, right?
But we absolutely 100%, even if the game doesn't have a lot of meaning, we have to go there and win anyway. We just have to go in there and start our starters. I'm sorry. We just have to. We have to end that. It has to end so we can start next year fresh. It has to end. It just has to. I can't do it anymore.
I love that.
I can't live another off season without knowing we beat them at least once.
I know. I'll say this. Wednesday is, as you know, Wednesday is my birthday. And there are a lot of times while October 18th, mid-October, our season is done. I'm doing mock drafts. I'm already looking ahead at who we could take because we're 1-5, we're 0-6. I love that we're still in it at this point. And this has been like that barrier. 6-7 games is where we know we're in it or we're out. And right now, the New York Jets are in it. The Jets are competitive. The Jets can line up and beat anybody. We just proved that yesterday. If anyone had doubts, we beat the Bills, we beat the Eagles. You're looking at guys who are Super Bowl contenders. The Chiefs, we played with. Questionable calls changed that game outcome. Defense travels. Defense can dominate anywhere.
They can.
We're talking about Rodgers potentially returning in December. And that gives you a couple weeks to get everything clicking, to go on a run in January with this defense.
I do want to
point out, mamma mia.
I do want to point out, I understand that it was pretty amazing that Aaron Rodgers is throwing the ball and he's moving around, but that's a little different than having a 260-pound linebacker who runs a 4.5 slamming into you and knocking you to the ground.
Yeah.
I don't want this guy to end his career because he tries to come back too soon. I mean, if the doctors are all behind it, but if he gets some weird one doctor who says, yes, okay, and every other doctor is saying no, and he plays, I'm very concerned.
I do want to add this. This is from Cimini on Saleh having Aaron Rodgers around. Quote, his superpower is his presence. Him being in the building, being around his teammates, being in the locker room, his positive attitude, his thoughts of manifestation and all that stuff, I think it's powerful. Obviously, as a coach, of course, selfishly, I want him here every single day. I want him in every meeting. I want him on the practice field. I want him on the sideline. I want him in the locker room. because he's an unbelievable human. And outside of scheme and playing ability, the intangibles that he brings to his teammates and the fuel I think his teammates will give to him is priceless. End quote.
I don't miss any points, Twisted. You got it twisted.
That's why it's his name.
I'm saying every team has a few plays that look bad where there's unblocked blitzes and things like that. I mean, you try to eliminate them all, but it happens to other teams too. That's all I'm saying. And
Johnny, great. Thank you.
Twisted watching tape.
Thank you, Johnny. I wanted to bring this up. Thank you for reminding me. I don't make notes. I know I should. And this is one of the things I made a mental note of. And sometimes being live, I forget all my mental notes.
They said he was rooting for the Eagles.
I thought Sanchez is a this is the first time I've seen him do a Jet game. I thought he's phenomenal. I love his insight. I love his commentary. I don't think he was rooting for the Eagles. I don't agree with that statement at all.
I couldn't hear it because I was, I can't play the volume when I'm on the Green Beans channel.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I read somebody wrote on Twitter or something that he was upset at the end when the Jets won. Maybe, and I don't know if that's true.
I just think that when you're doing a game and you're losing most of that game, you're going to have that bias that, oh, the announcers are against us. Oh, the reps are against us. And I just think that's a loser's mindset.
You're a butt monkey, Twisted.
So I enjoy Sanchez's insight. I think he's very good as analyst. I think he's entertaining without being over the top with it. I enjoy Sanchez. I enjoy his commentary. I enjoy his social media stuff. I enjoy the work he does with the Jets, with him and Mangold and their podcast together. I'm a big fan of Mark Sanchez, the commentator. I think he's very good. I didn't get any bias, and I would call it out. Troy Aikman doing a Cowboys game is biased, but he does it in a way of trying to be negative to counter the bias that he's had.
Yeah, look, I didn't hear it, so I can't really comment. I can't really comment. He looked good. He's a sexy guy. He's a handsome man.
I think this is one of Jeremy's burner accounts, EMCD. Obviously, it stands for Eat McDonald's. But EMCD, thank you. As he's eating a, is that a hash brown? Is that the McDonald's hash brown?
No, the Trader Joe's pumpkin bar, fruit bar.
But EMCD, thank you for joining us. Your first time here, please subscribe. Also subscribe to the Jets Chaos channel. We co-host a show on there on Wednesday nights. Jeremy has a pretty large following, almost 5,000. Great work to you, man. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. And,
thank you. And thank you to everyone out there that subscribe. That's helping make that a reality.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Yeah, do you have black leggings on and Uggs for eating pumpkin flavored? Do you have your Starbucks pumpkin spice coffee with it too? You millennial hipster, you.
I have Uggs, but I don't know about black stockings. I have white thermals.
Of course you do. Back to the comment, Mick D. You're right. I don't think this team and the desire and the passion and the commitment that they have will allow them to be overconfident. We'll probably be favored in the Giant game. Depending on how we do there and how the Chargers are going, we might be favored. We might be favored in the next 3 games. So that'll be something different. We could be, right? We should be favored against the Giants.
The Chargers were at home.
You win that game. Chargers coming across country, national televised game, seeing how we play on the big stage. I love it. This team has played. Yesterday was the Fox game of the week. The Chiefs game, Sunday Night Football. The Bills game, Monday Night Football. Chargers will be Monday Night Football. Raiders will be Sunday Night Football. This team has performed well with a lot of eyes on them. And I think these next 3 games, I think we should win all 3. And I think we should be at 6-3 going into Buffalo for a huge, huge matchup with the potential to sweep them. If we're the same old Jets, we lose 2 out of 3 and we're 4-5. We're not the same old Jets. Rusty, what do you got to say?
Well, we hope.
I don't think Graham Martin will be there at number 32, and we're still picking at number 32, Rusty. I think he'll be long gone by then. Still views, yeah, other teams happen, but they happen for a reason. You butt monkey. Well, what was the question? Did I miss?
Why do we have? I think I'm forgetting at this point. I don't know what he's. All I'm saying is it happens to every. So he's saying, okay, why does it happen to us? Why we sometimes have unblocked guys coming in? Somebody misses an assignment.
Assignment, protection calls. You know, Zach's protection calls. Although everyone's saying they're getting better, I don't think they're perfect. They're not elite. You know, knowing the hot read, checking to the hot read when you see it, there's a lot of factors in it. You know, knowing your hot route, getting the ball out if you suspect that that a blitz is coming. There's a lot of factors into it, man. It's not just the line, especially if you're spreading people out and going with 5 offensive linemen. You send a 6th man. Who scares us? Who scares the opposition besides Garrett Wilson? No one's getting open in man-to-man aside from Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Here's something really weird. Garrett Wilson goes out yesterday for a couple plays, right? Hardman comes in. Gets targeted twice and then never put back in the game, it seemed like.
Almost like he's just a backup to Garrett Wilson. It's kind of strange.
Yeah. Like Cobb? I know you made a nice catch.
You know what's happening to Hardman? They're mimsing him.
That's a thing now, right?
They're mimsing McCall Hardman.
That's a thing now. He was pissed about the out-of-bag call. He's a big Jets fan. Yeah, I thought Sanchez was very critical of Philly's play calling. They were doing well running the ball at one point. They went away from that and threw it again. I thought his criticisms from an analyst perspective, I thought they were on point.
Good.
Johnny, I agree. I thought Sanchez was strong-willed, strong-opinioned about both teams not being at their best with play calling and going away from things that were working. But that's what I want from an analyst. I don't want a homer. If I wanted a homer, I'd talk to Jeremy the whole goddamn. I'm kidding. Jeremy is anything but a homer. He wants to fire all the coaches in the first half, and he wants to give them raises and extensions in the third quarter.
I just imagine Johnny on a Sunday outside barbecue, picking up one of his little kids and throwing him in the air and hugging him. Like, he's a dad. He's a dad.
Yeah.
Holding a spatula.
Jeremy, I heard you look like Mark. It does. Well, that's because if you just put the hot dog in front of their face, they look like twins.
Yeah.
And Sanchez was eating a hot dog at halftime yesterday, and he shared it on his social media. I thought that was pretty funny on Instagram.
Guy likes to eat. Likes to eat. He was an Eagle too, you know, Sanchez.
Hey, Eric, hopefully there are a lot of Victory Monday shows at 12 o'clock this year. And we'll even throw in another Tuesday, a Victory Tuesday in a couple weeks. Hopefully. We'll have some good content. Jeremy will be out here for the Chargers game. We'll get some content together at the game in the parking lot. We'll cut some videos up and have them for both of our channels for you guys to see.
Oh my God, you guys are going to get to see me on video make love to a Taylor egg, cheese, and ham sandwich.
It doesn't exist.
Oh, a pork roll, egg, and cheese breakfast sandwich.
Well, it's a Monday night game, so we might not have it's a Monday night game.
Oh, you might see me. I might show up.
All right. Maybe I'll get a heel of pork roll. If you're coming out, and if you haven't had pork roll, if we don't go to Harold's and get you the pork roll there that we had, which was phenomenal, that thing was massive. If you do come out to New Jersey, we'll either go to Harold's or there's a place in Avenel that makes a massive one where the meat on the pork roll is this big. I told you I had it one time, and they put like every 4 pieces of pork roll, they put yellow American cheese in. So when you bite it, it just slides out. Like it's a mess. It's so good. It's right up your alley.
Right up my alley.
Trader Joe. All right, Twisted. I like the comment. I'm going to do a little play on words here. Let's talk Trader Joe. Do we get a lineman? Do we trade for a receiver? Does Trader Joe come in and make a move? What do you see? Let's look at the crystal ball. Let's look at your big, shiny crystal ball head. What do you have in there? Oh, Jeremiah, what does the crystal ball tell you?
The crystal ball tells me we're going to sign, not trade. We're going to sign La'el Collins.
Okay. All right. And I'm more in favor of that than any trade, because we're not giving up any future assets. We're just giving up cash, right?
If anything, if there is a trade, I don't think it's going to be us trading draft picks. I think it's going to be us trading like McCole Hardman. Possibly a defensive lineman like Lawson or something. Anybody else, it would be a pretty unpopular move. So, I don't think it's likely we trade Lawson, only because I know that Robert Saleh loves him. But McCole Hardman is definitely, on the trade block. There's no doubt that we listen to offers for him. But I think as far as significant moves to help us out right now, I think it's more of a sign an offensive lineman.
Daniel, we've very similar to your comment here about Jeremy interviewing potential Jet prospects. We've joked about him going down to the Senior Bowl with Dom C and just interviewing people with what is your school famous for, and just talking about like food with all the prospects, like not asking any football questions, just Jeremy talking about what part of the country you're from, what's like the best, like Rutgers. You got the fat sandwiches at Rutgers. You interview someone from Temple. Talk about cheesesteaks, wherever they're from in the country. Jeremy talks to them and tells them places to go to eat that he's been to. But yeah, that was an idea we've rolled downhill before. Very good. Chris, I appreciate your support on the Facebook group and here, but Taylor ham does not exist, buddy. Find me a package that says Taylor ham. They all say pork roll. It's making things up. It's like calling me and Jeremy friends. It just doesn't exist. It's not there. You learn a lot about people with food choices.
Well, I do what?
Me? I'm a big chicken because all I eat is chicken lately. Jeremy is a slob. I've watched him eat. I was scared. I was afraid to reach for my sandwich, thinking he would like bat my hand away. When we broke bread together.
Well, I am going to the Senior Bowl, and hopefully.
Oh, you are?
Oh, I'm going. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm all set. I'm set. I got to book the flight, but the whole the R&B, B and R, whatever, the Airbnb. That's already set. You getting an Airbnb 10 minutes from the campus. And I just have to book the flight because I'm going to do like a North Carolina, see my parents, and then go to Mobile from there. I might have to fly into Pensacola.
Are you going with Dom? Like, did you get a credential through Dom, or did you get your own credential?
I got it through Greenbean. Yeah. And Dom C.
Oh, nice.
Dom gets it through Greenbean, JetsFan.com. And then he got 2. And, for the both of us to go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'll be definitely, there's going to be a lot. It's going to be a very good year for offensive linemen. So I'm definitely going to be pursuing that, like interviewing offensive linemen. I think that, like we said, we need a tackle and an interior lineman in this coming draft. So
I got a hot take.
I'll probably go to Rusty Spooner and find out who I should talk to. He'll get all
I got
excited.
a hot take on the draft.
He'll get all excited. Hey man, you got to go interview this guy and that guy.
You want my hot take?
What's your hot take?
We take another wide receiver in the first round because of the fact if we re-sign Becton, Vera Tucker comes back, Tittman at guard, Tomlinson still has a 1-year deal, and you can re-sign McGovern, or you could take third round an interior offensive lineman. Looking at our wide receivers who do not get much separation aside from Garrett Wilson and man-to-man, I think that adding another weapon and a guy who can beat one-on-one coverage is going to be very, very paramount for this team to have success. I think that if you add another guy like an Egbuka from Ohio State or the 6'4" kid from Florida State in that middle first round, I know everyone wants to tackle, but I'm going under the assumption that we re-sign Becton to like a short 2-year deal. I think Becton deserves it. I think Becton likes being here. I think the kid can only get better. You give him a short 2-year deal, maybe a 2-year, $24 million deal, and tell him, hey, listen, get through this, stay healthy, and then you'll get your big deal at 27 years old.
And maybe Max Mitchell's our future right tackle. Let's see how he plays in the next few weeks.
Maybe. You also have, say he is, right? Say he is. Or say we sign Collins to a 2-year deal. Now you got Becton and Collins. You move AVT back into guard. Now you get rid of Tomlinson. You got Tittman at guard or center. And you don't need that first round lineman. You can go get another weapon and get another guy who gets open in man coverage.
Can you imagine? I mean, I don't know what pick we'll have. Hopefully it'll be something in the later of the round. But can you imagine, because it's heavy offensive line and quarterback, if a couple of good wide receivers are available, knowing Joe Douglas, I trust their evaluation skills. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not deterred by the Elijah Moore pick. I think that at the time, with the information we had, he looked like the real deal. I think there is a ton of talent there. He's just mentally whatever. But the Garrett Wilson pick shows that he knows what he's doing, right? And hopefully it'll be another big-bodied guy, like another, guy that's 6'1", 6'2", that type of wide receiver. I don't need any more little speedster slot guys. Like, let's get ourselves nice, tall, lanky, catch with their hands, good route running, fast wide receiver.
Yeah. The receiver is now projected for round 1. Marvin Harrison Jr. We won't be picking up there to get him. He's the top 2 pick.
Yeah.
Keon Coleman from Florida State is the 6'4" receiver. Malik Neighbors from LSU.
Rome Odunze
from Washington. That right, from Washington, and Egbuka from Ohio State. So that's 5 receivers, and then you still have Brock Bowers, the tight end, but I don't think we'll be picking in the top 7 to get him. So I think if we get another guy who can dog man coverage, and don't forget with Garrett Wilson, they're never going to have to go against number 1s. They're going to have to go against number 2s. And
then you have Lazard. So you have this new pick, Lazard, Garrett Wilson, and then you have Gibson is getting better and better. Suddenly it's looking like a nice room.
Yeah. And especially excuse me. Yeah, and that's where you get your interior linemen, Chris. You get interior linemen round 3, round 4. We're without the number 2. There's no saying that we couldn't trade back and acquire a number 2. We know Joe Douglas loves getting more draft picks. So we're far from the draft. I love that we're at the bye week though, and it's not the focal point, right? It's just we're Jets fans. We're always looking ahead. We're always looking for another positive to be added to our team. Hey, Dave the Dude, thanks for joining. King Losky, thanks for showing up, guys. Make sure you like the stream. I got to head to physical therapy soon. I got to shower. I got to get ready for that. You got anything we didn't cover? You got anything in that beautiful big dome of yours?
Look, I just want to. I think that we should definitely just really quickly again appreciate the performances of some of these players yesterday. Again, I can't say it enough. Max Mitchell. I mean, and we'll know more during the week when there's been more time to look at film and everything. But from the naked eye of watching that game, I think Max Mitchell had a really nice game. Which is highly appreciated, and maybe he's not a good training camp player. Maybe he's not a good practice player, but every time we've called on this kid to come into a game, he's doing the job for us. And Lake and Tomlinson.
He gave up a sack to Reddick, but who doesn't? Reddick gets like a sack a week.
Right. I'm talking about like overall performance, right. And then, Becton's been solid. Lakin was actually seemed and appeared solid yesterday.
Serviceable.
Definitely serviceable. Breece Hall might not have had big numbers, but he did his job. When given the opportunity, he definitely did his job, did everything well because he's freaking Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cooks looks, like in the last 2 games, faster than he's looked.
He looks like a third running back, right?
Right.
He looks like he's a third running back who maybe gets a drive a game, and
right.
That's what you're going to get from him.
I honestly believe at this point with the drop passes that I like the guy a lot personally. I really love the kid personally, but I think it's time to let Anaconda get his chance to play instead of Michael Carter. Michael Carter's dropping passes, critical passes every game. So if you can you're a third down back and the few opportunities we're gonna check down to you and you can't catch the ball, that's a problem. And I think that we're sitting on a home run hitting running back potentially. We got all these great young players. We seen, JD seems so good at it. Then let's see what this kid Israel has. I think it's time to give him the shot and let him be the third round back and just let him, especially in this softer part of the schedule. Let's see what we got in this kid. Work him in slow. And then defensively, man, we got a lot of things to be happy about defensively. Tony Adams made his mark finally, really showed up. I think the only criticism I have of the defense right now that stands out above everything else is Whitehead needs to learn how to tackle.
Yeah, you take away the game of catch he was playing with Josh Allen in week 1, and Whitehead has been a liability.
Yeah.
Whether in coverage with the New England tight end, tackling with lowering his head and guys bouncing off of him, it's been concerning. Adams looks good. Adams made a nice play yesterday to seal the game down the end. But Whitehead has been, for a guy whose job is to tackle, how do you tackle so poorly? Yeah. Dave the dude, you're right. I saw the comment coming in now. He never uses his arms. He lowers his head. He tries to hit like he's Ronnie Lott, and everyone just bounces off of him. So it's very, very frustrating to watch. But
yeah, you saw him. He did this. He went down with the shoulder and helmet, and no arms because he was trying to lay this big, impressive hit. It's like go in and wrap the guy up and tackle him.
Yeah, all of these targeting tackles would be eliminated if people just wrapped with it and drove through instead of trying the big explosion hit.
Yeah,
the big explosion hit is it's causing and creating concussions and missed tackles. Just fucking lower your shoulder and wrap. Keep your head up and drive through it and wrap.
Fundamental tackling.
But all right, I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank you, Mr. Chaos, for joining me. Hopefully we have many more victory shows to do together. We will be popping up maybe occasionally during the week. If we get some Jets news, we get something worth talking about.
We like to.
You'll see us on Wednesday night on Jets Chaos at 9 p.m.
Maybe not this Wednesday.
Doubtful this Wednesday. Wednesday is my birthday, and I'm going to the kids' house at 7 o'clock for cake. So
it's my wife's birthday, and I'll be in New York City. Probably expected to take her to a nice restaurant.
And now everyone thinks I'm your wife. That was really weird segue. I tell everyone my birthday's Wednesday, and they're like, "Oh, they were able to get married." That's how much this guy loves me. He married someone before he even knew of Nick Shine that had the same birthday as me. So
check it out. Not good looking.
No.
Not good looking.
But maybe maybe Thursday or Friday, or we could do something. Let me know your availability when you're out here.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll pop on later on Wednesday when I get home on my channel.
Sounds good.
So keep an eye out, everybody. Thank you again. Enjoy Victory Monday. Enjoy the New York Jets being a competitive football team. Enjoy having an elite defense. Enjoy a team that has depth. Enjoy being a Jet fan. And as always, be loud, be proud, New York Jets fans, and bring the MF and chaos.
You're a button.
This is producer JR, and you are watching the Proud New York Jets fan show. Give it up for my boy Nick.
Rogers is a fucking Jet. Let's go.
This for my special delivery. Spit like this, get my wrist all glittery.
Can't wait.
Get cake, snakes get slithery. Lean in, show y'all the mean in the chivalry.
Let's make sure we
Rap
play like the
Buddha.
New York Jets.
Right jab like Zab Judah. Every member on my team is a shooter. Tight like a wound,
Blow
no
job.
room for intruders. Spark, twist to the
Now,
Philly.
give it
And
up
good
for
humor.
Nick
Don't
Shaw.
be silly, it's gravy, baby. I got it all smothered.
Let's go to
Like
eat a
Blow
damn
job.
snack.
Blow job.